All right, welcome back. We continue right here. Bob Pompeani, Gene Collier. Gene, I want to ask you about the #1 pick overall because now that Cliff Kingsbury is the head coach of Arizona, he was originally brought in because at the time they didn't know they were going to declare. He was trying to rehab or really help out Josh Rosen, who was a #1 pick last year, 10th overall. They gave him over $20 million. And now a year later, because he coached Kyler Murray, do you think it's a wise decision by Arizona to back-to-back double dip on franchise-type quarterbacks, invest that much money? And if you're going to trade Josh Rosen, aren't you at a disadvantage because you're not going to get much? People don't know what he is after his first season.
Yeah, I can't really figure out what the Cardinals are doing. I mean, Kyler Murray projects as the first pick by just about everybody, but I think everybody's a little nervous about it because they can't figure out what their relationship is with Josh Rosen, what the new coach's relationship is with Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's his guy, but you can't do this every year. I mean, what you're saying to other clubs is we don't trust ourselves to evaluate quarterbacks if you're going to do this. So, yeah, somebody's going to be available. Josh Rosen's been rumored to be available for months and months. No one's been able to give them what they want, or he's not available. So if he's not available, why are they drafting? I don't get it.
It is crazy. All right, let's go out to Herb and Renfrew. Herb, how are you?
Pretty good, Bob. Hi, Bob and Gene. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
My question is, since the Steelers having the extra picks in this year's draft, do you think they'll try to bolster their special teams? Because Danny Smith's special teams wasn't very good last year. Actually, I don't know how he keeps his job.
I don't. Thanks for the call, Herb. I don't know. I mean, to me, they're not going to use all the 10 picks and draft 10 players. I think that would be a mistake. I've said that since the beginning. I think they're leverage opportunities, either trade down, trade up. The meat of this draft is supposed to be the second, third, and fourth rounds.
I think it all depends on that first pick, Bob, and whether one of the Devons, they feel like they can reach that pick. Say it's the 10th pick. I think they'd be willing to give up maybe 3 or even 4 picks to get a crack at Devin Bush. But they're not going to know that until, midway through the first round. If that doesn't happen, I think it's possible they would use 10 picks. They have done it before. They did it in 2010, and that turned out to be a really good draft. So I just don't know.
Kenny and Ambridge, thank you for joining us. Kenny, go ahead.
How you guys doing tonight?
We're good.
I just wanted to make a comment that I think that Hurdle's lost the confidence of his players.
Oh,
how many games does he pull the pitcher in the 5th or 6th inning?
Wait a minute.
When he's throwing a 2-hitter?
What we're talking about tonight, he left Joe Musgrove into the 7th inning. After 6 strong innings, he gave up back-to-back hits in the 7th inning and was taken out. Now, they lost confidence. First of all, they have too many injuries. I have no problem with Clint Hurdle. I still think he's a good manager, and I think all the people out there are going to come back and says, what does he want, blah, blah, blah. You only have what you have to deal with. There are many reasons for blame if you're looking for them, Gene. I haven't seen.
You were at the ballpark?
Lost. Yes.
You were at the ballpark tonight?
Yes.
The Pirates go into this game with the best record in the National League. They have the lowest payroll, or the next to the lowest payroll. They have everybody injured. They're in first place. They lost for a second night in a row. People are literally screaming at Clint Hurdle in the ballpark. People, you're embarrassing yourselves. That is stupid.
And I agree. I think it's gotten to the point where just let it play out and see what happens. Now, I will say this. We saw this last year where the Pirates took a lead into May even at 27-18, I believe their record was, and, things changed. It's a tough division. I would expect all 3, Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Louis, those 3 things are going to rise up, and you're going to see good records. So it's going to be tough on the Pirates. But I also want to see what this pitching can do long term. Can it remain competitive? It's a long way to go. But right now, this is not the time to say that Clint Hurdle has basically lost.
Pirates 12-0, Hurdle 0-8.
All right. On that note, we'll take a break. Come back with more right here on Pittsburgh CW.